Hi, friend. I have a question for you. Have you ever been in the zone when you're working on something creative? You know, that flow state where ideas just seem to pour out of you. Although it may feel like it, that's not magic. It's your brain operating at its best. And creativity isn't just inspiration floating down from the heavens. It's deeply connected to how we support our brain's natural processes. Welcome back to Creative Birthright. And today I want to share 5 ways to support your brain so it can do its best creative work. I've done my research, so what I'm sharing with you today is grounded in psychology, neuroscience, and the lived experiences of countless artists and creatives. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what your brain needs, you'll know how to put it into practice. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video. It's free and a great way to support the channel. One of the most underrated tools for your creative practice is rest. And I'm not only talking about the 8 hours of sleep or more you should be getting at night, although that quality sleep is hugely important. We're also talking about giving yourself mental space and mental breaks. Psychologists have studied something called the default mode network. It's the part of the brain that lights up when we're resting, daydreaming, or letting our minds wander. This network is where creative insights often surface. That's why so many breakthroughs come in the shower, on a walk, or right before bed. Instead of grinding endlessly at your desk and pulling all-nighters, let your brain breathe. Take real breaks. Protect your sleep. And if you're stuck on a problem, step away and let your subconscious keep working on it for you. For example, Georgia O'Keeffe built rest right into her creative practice through stillness and silence. At her Ghost Ranch retreat in New Mexico, she would rise before dawn, have some tea, and sit quietly. She said that these mornings were the best time because there were no people around and she could take things slow. She often took slow, silent walks toward the cliffs, absorbing the desert and all the beauty it had. And that stillness wasn't doing nothing. It gave her space to perceive deeply. And those observations became the foundation of her art. So give this a try. Try building intentional rest into your creative process. That might look like stepping away from your draft for an hour, or scheduling unscheduled time in your day where you just let your mind wander. Time that is not dedicated to any goals or productive work. Time to just be present in the moment. When you give your brain rest, you're not wasting time. You're activating the very networks that make creativity possible. So give it a try this week. Incorporate more rest in your life and see how it supports your creative practice. And let me know in the comments. Movement is another powerful way to unlock creative thinking, and studies show that physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, boosts dopamine, and improves divergent thinking. And that's the kind of thinking that helps you come up with many different ideas. And it doesn't have to be complicated. A walk around your neighborhood, stretching between tasks, or my favorite, dancing in the living room, these all count as movement. Take, for example, philosophers like Nietzsche and Rousseau. They swore by long walks to spark their ideas. And this is something that I also swear by. I take daily walks, not just for health reasons, but it's actually where some of my best ideas come to me. And if I'm stuck on something, I'll just take a walk, and eventually the answer or the idea will come to me. So when in doubt, when feeling stuck, when feeling stagnant, move your body, because movement shakes up that stagnant energy and literally shifts your perspective. Now, I'm not saying you need to start training for a marathon, but you can incorporate movement in the way that works for you. Even gentle stretching or yoga or a short walk can help spark new ideas. When you move your body, you move your mind, and that shift opens the door for creative flow. Your environment also plays a key role in this. It shapes your brain more than you realize. Research in environmental psychology shows that natural light, access to nature, and even the colors around you influence your creativity and mood. A cluttered space can overwhelm the brain, while a thoughtfully arranged one can spark focus and inspiration. And novelty and newness in your environment matters too. Sometimes all it takes is moving to a cafe, library, or park to unlock new ideas. For example, Toni Morrison described waking up before dawn, watching the light change, and letting the stillness of that environment guide her writing ritual. Maya Angelou took this a step further. She created what she called her creative sanctuary by renting a bare hotel room in every town she lived. She stripped the space of distractions, no decorations, just a Bible, a thesaurus, a bottle of sherry, and a deck of cards. In that minimalist setting, she wrote relentlessly, saying the room felt like a place where all her beliefs were suspended, and that allowed the ideas to rise freely. So look around your space right now. Is it helping or hindering your creativity? And to change this, you don't need to renovate your office or buy new furniture. Sometimes a plant, a candle, or a small ritual, like always writing in the same cozy chair, can make all the difference. And I'll hold your hand while I say this. Sometimes you just need to clean up. So look around your space. Is anything out of place? Can you tidy up in some areas? When you design your space with intention, you're giving your brain the external cues it needs to enter a creative state. So make sure that you carefully curate your space to support your creative practice. Now here's a surprising one. Structure. We often think creativity is about being totally free from structure, but research shows that some constraints actually enhance creativity. Too many options can lead to decision fatigue, but a clear framework helps your brain focus. This is why artists create rituals, why writers set word count goals, why musicians practice scales. Boundaries aren't limitations, they're springboards. Think of it like jazz. The structure of the rhythm is what allows for improvisation. So give this a try. Try giving yourself small, clear constraints. That might be setting a timer for 25 minutes, deciding you'll only use 3 colors in a painting, or writing a poem in a set form. Structure isn't the enemy. It's the scaffolding that supports your creative leaps. And when you build structure into your creative life, you're not boxing yourself in. You're giving your brain the clarity it needs to think outside the box. Finally, let's talk about play and novelty. Play is often dismissed as frivolous and reserved for children, but it's actually central to creativity. Play reduces stress, activates the brain's reward system, and invites experimentation without the fear of failure. Novelty is a part of this too. New experiences, whether traveling, trying a new food, or reading outside your usual genre, stimulates the brain's dopamine pathways, which make you more open to fresh connections and new ideas. Beyoncé has spoken about how experimenting with visuals, costumes, and alter egos like Sasha Fierce expanded her creative expression, and play gave her the room to push boundaries. So I encourage you to make space for creative play with no stakes attached. Doodle for fun. Try cooking a new recipe. Write something silly. Play is how you remind your brain that creativity doesn't always have to be so serious. Sometimes the best work comes from moments where you weren't even trying. And when you make space for play and new experiences, you're reminding your brain that creativity thrives on joy, curiosity, and surprise. So if you want to support your brain in doing its best creative work, think about what you're really giving it and make sure you are feeding it these key ingredients. Rest so your ideas can surface. Move your body so your energy keeps flowing. Curate your environment so you're surrounded by inspiration. Build in structure so your brain can focus, and play so joy and curiosity can keep the spark alive. Creativity isn't just about talent or inspiration. It's about tending the conditions that let your mind do what it was designed to do. And none of these practices are out of reach. They're small daily choices that add up. So try one this week. Protect your rest, take a walk, clear your space, set a small boundary, or just play. Notice how your creativity shifts, because when you care for your brain, your creativity can't help but bloom. All right, that's all I have for you today. Keep reclaiming your creative birthright, and I will see you in the next video.